In the name of Amen the Supreme, the all-powerful, the one and only true Lord, in Amen we trust, as the Republic of Mentellect, the real 144,000 is being gathered this day and time, the Mentellians. Menzeka Aminun to all of my Mentellian brothers and sisters out there, registered members of the Republic of Mentellect, and to all future Mentellians who get to find their way home to the Republic of Mentellect, which is Amen's community. I send greetings out to you, and I send peace out to you in our Mentellian language by saying to you, Menzeka Aminun. Good evening, I'm your host, the intellectual NUBEN MENKARAYZZ, and this is Mentellect Radio, and tonight we're going to be discussing this divine feminine energy. Is it really a cover for black femalism, liberated femalism? You've been hearing a lot of these rejects and escapees from the so-called conscious community, so-called black conscious community, these females who are now embracing this so-called divine feminine energy. And this black woman is God, and this divine mother crap, right? And all this feminine nonsense, all this female nonsense, right? It's supposed to be a way for them for them to empower themselves, right? So they feel like by taking on the role of a man, right, or trying to be a man with a vagina and breasts, because that's really what all this divine feminine or female energy is all about. These are nothing but a bunch of females trying to usurp masculine energy, real masculine energy. I'm not even going to call this femininity. This is not femininity at all. This is nothing but femalism. And I brought that word out first, femalism, because we have to recognize the difference between feminine and female. Feminine is the real woman. Female is just that, the female, the fake woman, the underdeveloped, mentally immature woman, or, that who has not grown into a woman as of yet. These, or this movement, or this philosophy of this divine feminine energy and this black sister nonsense and this goddess nonsense is nothing but a bunch of covered up, black liberated femalism, black liberated femalism, right? Which they took a page from the white feminist handbook run by Gloria Steinem and her National Organization of Women. That's why I tell you, whenever you hear these so-called divine feminine energy and these black females, and I'm going to call them black females. They're not bronze women, they black females. Whenever they, you hear them talking about how they deserve to be raised up and, how divine their womb is and all this other blah, blah, blah. Their womb is divine and their feminine, so-called fake feminine energy and whatnot. It's just that a load of BS. It's a load of BS. Behind all of that so-called divine feminine energy, if you look at a lot of these chicks that spouting that nonsense, these black females, you'll see a bunch of broken, empty, ran through thoughts. Raw and uncut, but I'm not going to be so raw. They're a bunch of broken down, ran through thoughts. That's all they are, right? And they're trying to get some semblance of respect back for themselves, some sort of pride back for themselves, because they know deep down inside they really don't amount to a goddamn thing. They don't amount to anything, right? They're nothing but a bunch of hoes and head wraps. That's all they are, a bunch of hoes and head wraps. And they got this so-called liberated mindset where they, 9 times out of 10 want to entrap men with their vagina. They want to use their vaginal region, because that's all they're good for using is their vaginal region. They don't have any brains to speak of. All they're good for is using their vagina and talking about how powerful their vagina is, how powerful their womb is, because they pushed out a bunch of stray children, a bunch of stray kids, usually from a bunch of different baby daddies. That's usually the setup. They usually push them out from a bunch of different baby daddies, and they always talking about how much of a woman they are, real women they are, and this, that, and the third. Let me stop you. I've dealt with these so-called divine feminine females, so-called divine females, divine feminine, so-called black sister goddesses. I've dealt with them before, and I know what they all about. Trust me. And I could, real is real. I've laid with them, I've dealt with them, I've spoken to them, and I already know they just one couch trip away from being in a damn insane asylum. They bugged out of their minds. They are bugged out of their minds because they got all kinds of different men's semen running through them, right? They are loose with their vagina. right? And they try to cover that up in their later years, because 9 times out of 10, these were the chicks that was running wild, running loose and whatnot, laying with everybody and whatnot. Then all of a sudden, that whole thing changed up with the advent of Erykah Badu. See, Erykah Badu brought out these black liberated females. She brought these black liberated females out, starting to wrap their heads up, talk all this conscious stuff, burning incense. But see, a hoe is a hoe. I don't care if you wrap the head up I don't care if you wrap their head up like a head of lettuce. I don't give a damn. A hoe is a hoe, and a thought is a thought. And you know, trying to pass yourself off as a real woman and calling themselves trying to direct real women who are finding their way and know that no true feminine energy cannot exist without masculine energy to be the reflection of. They know this. The real women know this. See, the real women know this. See, these so-called divine, liberated female, feminine energy stars, the C stars, like I said, usually you find them, if you ever find a group of them together, you'll find that usually they got several children with different baby daddies, or they ain't got nobody. They lonely. They don't look too good, a lot of them. You might find a few of them that's cute, but the rest of them don't look good. They don't look like they ain't worth a damn. Looks ain't worth a damn, right? Some of them all old and washed up. Their womb is washed up, right? So the hell with their womb. Their womb, you might well throw it in the garbage because it done been in the trash because all them niggas that ran through it, right? And they always famous for telling other bronze women what a real woman is and how you shouldn't let no man tell you this and let no man tell you that. But they wish deep down inside they had a man to tell them something, because a lot of these so-called liberated feminazi females, they're a bunch of wild dogs off a chain. And they always looking to attack real masculine energy. They always looking to attack real masculine energy because 9 times out of 10, they had a real man. If they had a real man in their life, he ran through them and basically seen they wasn't about nothing and just basically left them on the side of the road. And a lot of times that is a traumatic experience for them. But not once are they accountable for their own behavior as to why men don't want to deal with them. Not once. They're not accountable to nothing. So because they're angry and they're broken and they're empty, they have to try to boost themselves up by telling themselves that the black woman is God. The black woman got the divine feminine energy. She wrapping her head and burning incense. She listening to Erykah Badu and India Ari and whoever the hell else. You know, whoever the hell else, right? They usually part of that 5% of garbage, or you know, some Islam or some spirituality or some nonsense. You understand that? They're usually a part of that. But like I said, let's keep it 100. They're a bunch of ran through thoughts, and they angry at men because they can't get a man. No man wanted to deal with them. No real man wanted to deal with them. The only way a real man is going to deal with them is basically to use their vagina, and that's it. After they finish using their vagina, like I said, they return it to sender. It's returned to sender. And after a while, either these females turn into lesbians, like a Janelle Monáe. They turn into a bunch of lesbians. Or they get a beta male, like certain people did. They get a beta male, some weak, soft beta male that they can control. You see? But never think that these females take themselves seriously. They do not take themselves seriously. And the reason I'm doing this broadcast tonight is because the real bronze women who are raising up, you should never take these females as your sisters, because they will try to creep in unaware and try to act as though they're your sisters, and they are not. They are not your sisters. See, this is starting to be on the rise right now. A lot of this feminine garbage, this divine feminine garbage, and all this black female is God nonsense. It's starting to be on the rise now. It's starting to raise up for real, right? And it's starting to permeate the minds of a lot of bronze women, real bronze women, viable bronze women who can be utilized in the future to turn out real women. Turn out real future bronze women. But do not use these black females as anything other than an example of what not to be. Do not even ever think that they're your sisters. They're not your sisters. They're not your friends. In fact, they don't like you, especially if you got a real man. They are the enemy of real masculine energy. They hate real masculine energy. Because that man, that masculine man, that all-natural man reminds them of the nigger that they wish they had. Reminds them of the man they wish they had, the man that left them on the side of the road somewhere. Didn't take them seriously. And they bitter. They are bitter. Don't ever think that they're not. Because like I said, deep down inside, while hating the real masculine energy, secretly they really want that masculine energy. They really want to submit to a man. But no man is going to put up with their madness and their foolishness. So all they're relegated to being is a bunch of thoughts, a bunch of lonely thoughts, basically waiting for a man to give them his time and his company. That's all. That's all. And if they're not doing that, like I said, they sitting somewhere with their vibrator and their glass of wine somewhere. You see, that's the get down to the divine liberated sisters in their feminine energy. That's their get down. And this is who you listening to. Keep this in mind. This is who you listening to. Because like I said, all these ex-thoughts out here, all these, I call them ex-thoughts, but they not ex because they never really been retired. All these ex-thoughts out here who had their hair permed and had their weaves in and all these lace fronts and whatnot, they all becoming part of that so-called feminine energy nonsense. They all starting to become part of that liberated C-star nonsense. They're actually starting to believe the hype of these so-called black females and thinking that they're really uplifting you when they're not uplifting you at all. And if anything, they downgrading you because they sitting up here talking about you don't need a man. You don't need a man in your life. You don't need a real man in your life, and that a woman that you could be a god on your own, because again, you never hear them uplifting the man. You never hear them uplifting the man, and that's where that whole liberated stuff from the white woman come in at. You never hear them uplifting the bronze man, and you only hear the so-called black female pushing this nonsense. She's the only one pushing this black liberated nonsense. She's the only one that's pushing it. You don't hear this crap from today's modern day white woman. They'll just push feminism, but you know the black woman the so-called black woman got to take it another step further. She got to make herself a god over everybody. She got to make her womb so divine. She has to make her womb so precious and all this, because life passed through her womb, right? Because life passed through her womb. She want to make her womb something special. Well, hello, last time I checked, life been passing through a bunch of wombs, and not just yours. So if you want to make that something special, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with saying that it's important. It is important, but if you want to try to act like, really make that something super special, don't do it. Because, if you count up all the men they done laid with and they liberated mindset and that liberated fashionist, they always good for telling or trying to decide what a real man is. They always good for trying to judge real manhood. They always talking about what a real man is. They always talking about a man, real men, you ain't supposed to be with no bunch of women. You ain't supposed to do this. You ain't supposed to do that. They always good at talking about what a real man is, but they don't live by their own rules and their own so-called fake principles of real womanhood. Because they can jump in bed with anybody at any minute when they feel like it. And that includes a man, a female, whatever they want to jump in bed with. You see, they can jump in bed with anybody, as much people as they want. Because if you ever ask the so-called liberated feminine sister, what's her body count as far as sexual partners go, she gonna lie to you. Trust me, she's gonna lie. Tell you it's 5, add 10 more to that. Or hell, maybe even 20 more, depending on how old she is, or whatever, depending on what the year was when she was feeling extra frisky, right? She's always going to lie about the body count, the men she laid with, right? She's always going to try to make herself seem virtuous, right? When that's a big lie. It's a big lie. These females are doing nothing but trying to find some sort of, what's the word I want to say? They want to find some sort of esteem, because they have very low self-esteem. That's why they have to tell themselves, and they have to pump themselves up and tell everybody they goddesses and they this, that, and the third, without any works to show that. Without any works to show that, they try to pump themselves up to telling everybody they're a bunch of goddesses, they're a bunch of queens, they're a bunch of this, they're a bunch of that, but no works behind it. Because if you ever look at the so-called liberated C-stars or the liberated divine feminine cis-star black women as God, what is it that they have to do? Or what makes them goddesses or gods or divine and they're feminine? What makes them that? Because they got a vagina? Because they got a vagina. A female dog has a vagina. A cat has a vagina. A female cat has a vagina. Animals have vaginas. What makes her divine? Because she has a vagina, because she can push life out. Half the lives she done pushed out, she probably didn't even want. And the other half, she done probably aborted. because they're very liberated when it comes to abortion, killing children, and doing what they want, because they always going to do what fits their own narrative. Whatever fits their narrative, that's what they go with. They're always trying to justify their nonsense. They justify being a damn thought. Exactly. That's all it is. So again, they are definitely not no role models for our daughters, who are really supposed to be raised up to be real women, who know that they need men beside them, real strong men, right? So that they can be the reflections of those men. See, they're going to tell your daughters, they're going to get in your daughter's head and tell, oh, you don't need no man. You don't need no man telling you nothing. You don't need nothing. They always going to tell you something, but they by themselves. They raising children by themselves. They sitting around on dating sites by themselves. They sitting up on Facebook trying to stir up trouble by themselves. They trying to find something to get into by themselves. They trying to get a whole bunch of other so-called fake C-stars, a bunch of head-wrapped hoes, and trying to get something popping by themselves, trying to talk about somebody by themselves. But make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. They will never go against the true person who they draw their power from. They will never go against the true person who they draw their power from. And who is that? The so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? The so-called white man, that's who they get their power from. He's the one that cuts them their check on their job. He's the one that gives them their Section 8, their welfare, right? They WIC or whatever the hell, they WIC, they food stamps. He's the one that cut them the check. You see, so they ain't gonna never really get out of pocket with the so-called white man. They ain't gonna get too out of pocket with him. They'll get out of pocket with the so-called black man because they feel like the so-called black man can't do nothing for them. And even if the so-called black man try to do something for them, they'll always try to minimalize it. Always. They'll always think that, oh, I don't need that from you and I don't need that from you. You see? They mindset. If there is a such thing as white supremacy, I call it pale degeneracy. But if there is a such thing as white supremacy, the so-called black liberated divine energy, feminine sister goddess, she's a heavy supporter of it. She's a heavy supporter of it. Trust and believe that she's a heavy supporter of all that. A lot of these chicks, like I said, a lot of these divine energized sisters, they'll lay with the so-called white man. They'll lay with females. They'll lay whatever they feel like laying with, and will justify it. A lot of them was in those ghetto gagger movies and whatnot, where the white man was doing everything to them. And then you come to find out a lot of these chicks that popped up in the conscious community with head wraps, some of them was in them damn thought movies with the damn ghetto gaggers. You see? Because you never really hear them going against the white man. Never. They always got a grudge to bear, across the burn with the so-called black man. Always. Always. But they really live in the image of the white woman. They really live in the image of the white woman, and their philosophy and their ideas and their thoughts come from the white man. That's where it comes from. Because if you ask any of these so-called divine, so-called goddess females and whatnot, what they really think, they're going to give you a whole bunch of spiel from the white man. They're going to talk about narcissism. They're going to talk about whatever the hell, spirituality, whatever they're going to talk about, whatever philosophy they got comes from the white man. So how are you a so-called god, you so-called females, and you ain't got no thoughts of your own? Your only thoughts is basically to insult bronze men, tear down bronze men, so-called exposed people. You see, that's their only thought process. Their only thought process is to tear down everything. They no different than the white man. The so-called white man wants to tear apart the bronze family, and so do the so-called black liberated sea stars. They want to tear apart the family. You see, because they don't got a family. They don't got a man. You see, they don't have anything. All they got is they broken pride, they broken vaginas, and a bunch of stray kids that no man gave a damn about to take care of. That's all they got. That's all they have. They have nothing. And they are nothing. And they show themselves every day to be nothing. Instead of trying to get their mind right, instead of trying to have an understanding of where the true feminine energy comes from, which is a man, and getting behind a man or get beside a man and whatnot and getting their goddamn place, what they trying to do, they trying to go against and usurp the authority of the man. That's what they trying to do. And they want you, bronze women who's really trying to grow into women, they want you to do the same thing. Because they always looking for allies. They always looking for allies. These black liberated hoes always looking for allies. And I call them hoes because they are. They always looking for allies. You see, they always looking to gain the upper hand in some way, shape, or form. And like I said, the sad thing is a lot of the bronze women, see, because again, we got to draw the line between the bronze woman, the bright woman, and the black woman. Because all these female liberated goddesses are black. They're in a state of darkness. They're in a state of ignorance. And like I said, they're being led by the white woman. Mentally, they're being led by the white woman. Or black females who's sitting out here reading from the handbook of the white liberated females. They're reading from the handbook of the so-called white liberated females. That's who tells them what to do. That's who they sit up here and read about. You see? Don't be fooled by these females. They're not real women. They're nothing but a bunch of artificial, heavily emotional black females. Those who are not going to be a part in building our future dynasty. Not going to be a part in building our future community. They're not going to be a part of that. Nor do they really want to be a part of it because they have no place in that. They would rather sit on the sidelines in their lonely places amongst their children. Yeah, if they whatever male they got at the time, who they dealing with at the time, because trust me, any relationship or so-called relationship they have is always going to be short-lived, trust me. Because once the male even finds out that they ain't worth a damn, they're going to leave them quickly. They're going to expire real quickly. They'll have some sex with them a few times and they're going to be on their way. You see? And like I said, if a male stays around, trust me, that is a male that's going to stay around them. No man is going to stay around no liberated so-called black goddess sea star. They're not staying around that. Not no real man. A bunch of beta males will. A bunch of beta males will. Basically the ones who soft, they could run over them. Right? And they'll take them guys, but deep down inside, they really want real men. Deep down inside, they want real men. But they can't have real men because, again, real men won't deal with them. Real men won't deal with them, not because they strong, not because they this, that, and the third, all the other nonsense they claim. No, real men won't deal with them because they're not real women. They are not real women. They will never, ever, ever be real women. They hate real women. They hate real feminine energy. You see? They hate real feminine energy. And they got a counterpart to them too. That's the beta male. The soft beta male. Like, you got these niggas up here. You know who the soft beta males are? It's these niggas up here who always making these videos where they call themselves exposing real men and real work that real men put in. Right? There was some clown on YouTube, I forget his name. You know, you got a bunch of these clowns who always calling themselves trying to expose real men and put in real work. This clown call himself trying to expose the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I forget who this clown name is, right? I would call his name out if I could remember it, but he ain't even worth mentioning. But something of life or some nonsense, real life, some nigger nonsense. But this beta female, one of these black liberated sea stars, they big up these type of males because, again, what they have in common with the beta male, what they have in common, the liberated feminine, so-called liberated black females, what they have in common with the beta male is the beta male will let them lead. The beta male will let them lead. The beta male will let them lead and run things. And again, they both work off the same female energy. Because only a female, only a nigger who got a female energy sits around and talks about other men. Right? For just to so-called expose them or tear them down. If you make your career or you're living around talking off other men, yet you don't show your face. Because this nigger who I'm talking about don't show his face. Like a lot of these fake-ass black beta males who always call themselves exposing somebody, they never show they self. These niggas never show they self. They never show their real self. They always exposing real men. I wish I could remember this clown's name because I sure would call it. You know, he got probably like maybe a handful of listeners on YouTube, right? But like I said, it's a whole bunch of these clowns. They never show themselves. They good at exposing real men who have accomplished stuff like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad or Dr. MENKARAYZZ or myself. We get these trolls when you're working to do something. You're always going to have some crabs in a barrel who ain't contributing a goddamn thing. You see, they ain't contributing nothing. Because again, they just like the so-called white man. They hate masculine energy coming from the bronze man. The so-called white supremacists, or aka the pale degenerates, they hate it. The beta male hate it, and the black liberated C-star, the divine fake feminine energy female, she hate it too. They all on the same vibe. They hate the real masculine energy coming from the bronze man. They can't stand that. The white man hates it because, again, he feels emasculated when that energy is up and around. He feels emasculated. The black female hates it because it makes her feel small. It makes her feel like she has to, that energy is so strong, it makes her feel like she has to bow down. Right? And the beta male hates it because he wishes he could be that. He wishes he could be an alpha man, an alpha bronze man. He wished he could be that. So again, you had three kinds of people that hate the alpha bronze man. You got three types: the liberated black female, aka the divine feminine C-star; the black beta male, soft-ass black beta male; and the so-called white supremacist, aka pale degenerate. They hate the bronze man and his natural masculine energy. They want to possess it or they want to usurp it. Because I guarantee you, if you go into corporate America, right now, I guarantee you, you're going to find a whole bunch of these black liberated feminist C-stars working there. You see, they're not going to get out of pocket with the white man who employed them. They got a good, healthy working relationship with the so-called white man. But you'll find them working there in a good position, and 9 times out of 10, they might be sleeping with the white man, laying with him, if he decides he wants them. And you'll find a beta male or homosexual black male working there as well. You'll find those type of that dynamic in America under the white man. The gay beta male, the soft beta male, black beta male, and the feminine black energy sister goddess creature. She working it. You see, she got to be more masculine or have more masculine energy than the beta male, because again, the white man is not going to allow no bronze man with natural masculine energy in his office. He don't want that. He don't want that. He wants to be in charge, because as soon as the bronze man come on the scene, he already start usurping the energy of the so-called white man. He already start doing it. Just by you naturally being yourself. He already start doing it. You start making them feel uncomfortable. You see? You make them feel uncomfortable. You see? And the beast loves those type of people. He loves those kind of people. He loves the dynamic like that. He loves the dynamic of the black female in front and the beta male in the background. He loves that. He loved that, going back to the damn plantation, because when he was basically telling people what to do, he would go to the female first, because the female, like this whole setup of the Eve seed, the female is who he went to. He's the one. He went to her. He would basically sleep with her, and he would do that. He would sleep with the so-called black woman on the plantation. If she was good looking, he had sex with her first and didn't give her to the so-called beta black man and whatnot to be his wife. But the master got to have sex with her first. He got to hit it first, and then hand her off to the damn beta male. He'd be like, "Thank you, master." And of course, if the master want to hit it again, he reserved the right to have sex with the black man woman again, the beta male woman again. You see, he reserved the right. You see, and that's how it is still to this day. You see, that's how it is to this day. They just like that. Because you have a lot of these so-called liberated black females, they will protect the white man. Watch the divine feminine energy liberated C-star. She will protect the white man. How will she cape and protect the white man? Because she carries his philosophy. She's the one calling people narcissists. She's always quoting the white man, quoting his philosophy. So she will definitely cape for the white man and the white woman. She will cape for them. She will claim, oh, she against them, and she'll talk a little bit against them, but not in their face. Not in their face. She won't do that. She'll be very cordial with them, because she knows that her energy, her so-called divine feminine energy, is a load of BS, and that her real power comes from begging the so-called white man, whether it be for her welfare check, whether it be for her paycheck, or trying to beg the so-called white woman, to be in her image and after her likeness. They already know where their true power comes from. And trust me, when they dealing with a so-called black man, a beta black male, trust me, He knows his place, because if he ever gets her angry, because she claims she in a loving relationship with a real man and call her beta male a real man, but let him raise his voice or get jumped too hard. Trust me, she'll be, the phone, 911 is just a phone call away. The white police is just a phone call away. She will exercise that right. She will turn right into a white female. Like I said, if you black males are dealing with a white woman, like I said, if she let her get mad at you, let her get angry with you, all she gotta do is tell the police you attacked her or something, and y'all could be living together, you could be married. See if the police won't be able to blow your brains out for that white woman. And you could be laying with her, got children with her, be married to her, but she will always reverse that. Same thing with the liberated black female. They always got their trigger, which is the so-called white man in the blue uniform, the police, because they will call them in a heartbeat. That go for the lesbian ones who want to beat on their chest, because usually a lot now, like I said, a lot of these divine feminine energy black liberated females, they are lesbians. They are lesbians, licking lesbians, and a lot of them will turn around, they will beat on their chest and be ready to fight a man and whatnot, but you smack the hell out of them and whatnot, they're gonna run right to the white man and turn into a female and go crying to him, and they're gonna have you in handcuffs. They're going to have you in handcuffs. And she's going to be right in court testifying with a feminine voice. She's going to turn right into a female. She'll come to court and put a dress on and everything. She'll turn right into a female just to see you locked up in jail. You see? And be laughing at you. Because the divine feminine energy of the black liberated sea star is nothing but some demonic BS. Some demonic BS. Something that is not about the cultivation and the extension of the real masculine feminine principle and energy. It's not about that. Again, she wants to be a solo act. The divine sea star, the so-called goddess, wants to be a solo act. She don't want no real man by her side, because you're going to be stealing her shine. She don't want no real man by her side. See, she wants to destroy real relationships between real men and real women. She don't like that. She's also about destroying real community. She's also about destroying bronze leaders. She's about destroying bright leaders. She's also about that. How many of these so-called liberated black sea stars came out against the messenger? Even now, the man been dead almost 50 years, almost 50 years, and here you got these liberated black females speaking against the messenger. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad talking about the women he was with. This is still a topic, and you know they got these beta male, bitch-made beta males up here doing the same thing, speaking against the messenger, and his personal affairs with his women, which is his personal affairs. But none of these clowns ever show themselves, nor will they ever put themselves out there, their personal life out there. All they good for doing is pointing the finger at men who did something, and they did something for real in this life, because they never going to do nothing real. So like crabs in the barrel, like I said, the black liberated female and the beta male, they work hand in hand with white supremacy. They perfect tools of white supremacy. Perfect tools. Who are some very notable ones? Janelle Monáe and Charlemagne the God. He's a Charlemagne the God who do Breakfast Club, him and Envy. Those are two beta males right there. Perfect example. Two beta males. Two fresh out the vagina beta males. Soft as hell. Talking about I worship my wife, and I listen to everything my wife says. Yeah, that's that beta male spirit that the beast is trying to spread. Because again, they want you black males talking about you worship women. They want you talking about you worship a black woman. You see, you ain't supposed to worship no woman, and ain't no woman supposed to worship no man. They supposed to work in alliance together. The woman is supposed to be the reflection of the man, and that's why I said real women know that they cannot raise a boy. That's why they will go and get a man. You know, they will get, like what I say before, in the old time, you know, real women did not try. They did not try to raise boys. Let's just say a real woman, her husband passed away, her husband separated, whatever happened, her husband passed away and she had a son. She's going to go out and get a man, you know, and she's going to get a man fast so that she's not going to be alone, so he can raise that boy, so that he can raise her son. And then she will have more children with him. You see? She will have more children with him. They see, again, the real women knew what it is. It's only these so-called liberated females who bought into the idea that a woman could raise a boy. They cannot, or a female could raise a boy. They cannot. They cannot. They cannot. That's why you see these young black males the way they are out here. That is, they are the product of the liberated black female. They're the product of liberated black females. I don't need no man in my life. I can do it by myself. I don't need, because all they want from the man is money. That's all they want from the man. They don't want him around the children. They just want his money. That's it. 9 times out of 10, they tell him he can't see his child. You see, they hold a child hostage. They hold his child hostage, his children hostage, because they don't want you to see your children. They just want you to pay. And I'm saying, of course, you're supposed to take care of children. I'm not saying you're supposed to be no deadbeat father, but that's mostly all the involvement they want they want you to have in the child's life. Reason being is because they don't want you as a man influencing the boy. They want to influence the boy. They want to destroy the boy. They want to destroy the masculine energy in him, and they want him to bow down to females like her. They want to destroy the masculine energy in the boy. You see, they want to mess him up. They want to suck out the masculine energy in him. That's what they want. That's why they'll fight you tooth and nail so that you can't see your son. If you have a son with them, man, or especially a daughter, they already in the daughter's ear telling them, oh, men it ain't nothing, it ain't it, and all this ain't ish, and all this other stuff. They in the daughter's ear early. Yeah, don't get hooked up with no man and whatnot. Play the field, get out here and do, and explore and go on dates. Basically, be a hoe like your mother. Be a hoe like her. Basically, be a whore and a slut and lay with multiple men. And then when your vagina halfway worn out, then you can get with a man and get married and talking about, oh, you got to treat me like a goddess. After you don't have your vagina on the damn track, now all of a sudden he got to respect you and treat you like a goddess. Once you got a big body count, he got to respect you and treat you like a goddess, huh? You damn used goods, damaged goods, but he got to respect you. Yeah, okay. No, see, this is the message they want to pass on to their daughters. That's why their daughters end up pregnant early, and then the daughter come in there, bring a baby, and then, oh, it's okay. And we could do this together. We could raise my grandchild and your child, and we could raise them together. If it's a girl, what I'm saying, we'll name her. We'll name her, and we'll raise. You don't need no man, and we'll set you up on the Section 8 and the food stamps and whatnot. Just like me, we'll set you up on the Section 8 and the food stamps. We get you your own place and everything, and you can ride on the stamp state and get your money and everything. You don't need no man. That's the plan with the so-called divine feminine energy in the black female. Again, because ask yourself, do you ever see these chicks with their own businesses? Do you ever see them self-employed doing their own thing? What do you really see these so-called divine feminine energy black creatures out here doing? What are they doing other than living off the white man? Because how you going to call yourself a god or a goddess or whatever the hell you call yourself, but you got to depend on the white man. You got to depend on him. You got to depend on him for your paycheck. You got to depend on him for some Section 8 or some food stamps. If you God, why you can't make it happen for yourself? You black females who pushing this divine fake energy, this divine feminine fake energy, or this divine female energy, why you can't make it happen for yourself? Answer: because your whole act, your whole black woman is God, divine feminine energy is a load of BS. That's all it is. And see, real men recognize that about you. Real men recognize how fake and phony y'all are. They recognize that y'all nothing but a bunch of hoes and head wraps. Because look at the person you look up to, Erykah Badu. How many different baby daddies she got? Oh, that's right. 3 different baby daddies for 3 different children. Right. That's who y'all look up to. That's who you look up to, because she wrapped her head up. Oh, she don't even do that no more. That's because she was burning incense and wrapping her head up and whatnot. She's divine. She has divine feminine energy. Now, when she didn't, any other time she'd have just been a hoe. But because she could burn some incense and wrap her goddamn head up and whatnot and piece everybody out, she all of a sudden, and she nice looking. She all of a sudden a goddess and a god and got the divine feminine energy. Right. What example is she setting for her children? You understand? What example is she setting for her children? What example is she setting for her daughter? Her daughter seeing multiple men coming in and out of her life, different baby daddies. What example is she setting for her children? Now, for the women who, like I said, the women who made those mistakes early in their life, I'm not downing the sisters who actually, went through a thing of having multiple children, father and whatnot. I'm not downing you for that. Because as long as you realize that you made mistakes in your life and you're trying to fix it, that's fine. But it's another thing when you're doing that and you trying to act like it's some kind of, you proud of that, or you trying to act like it's some pride in what you're doing, or it's some kind of, it's some kind of honor in what you're doing, because that's what the black liberated C-star do. Because Erykah Badu tried to flip it like, these are my children, and I chose. She tried to basically put herself in the role of a man, and basically, I chose these guys to have children, as if a man, like a man choosing different women to have children from. She tried to flip it and be like, well, I'm a woman, and I chose these men to have their children with them, different children with these men. Yeah, okay, whatever. That's, like I said, that's nothing but a load of BS. That's just an excuse for being a thought and a whore. That's all. That's all that's an excuse for. Don't fall for that. And definitely do not listen to these females as you find your path toward womanhood. Don't listen to these females. I taught all bright women, bronze women. Don't listen to the black woman. Only look at the black woman as an example of what not to be. That's all you should look at the black woman as an example of what not to be. What you should never want yourself to be, or what you want your daughter to be. Don't sit up here and let these so-called C-stars get inside your head or inside your daughter's head, get her wrapping her head up, talking about some spiritual BS and some abstract, vague nonsense about some mother goddess or some mother love, mother goddess, mother nature, mother whatever the hell. Mother effer, whatever. I ain't gonna curse, you know what I'm saying? But, whatever, the divine mother, the divine whatever. They can't tell you who this divine mother is, though. But, they come in the name of the divine mother. Yeah, all right, whatever. Keep falling for the BS. And you beta males, you keep listening to that. You keep putting these thoughts up on a damn pedestal. Keep putting these hoes with head wraps up on a pedestal with their ankhs and everything else. Good luck with that. We'll be right back. Some of your famous black liberated sisters, wannabe goddesses, head wrap hoes. Angela Davis, what's her name, what's the one who writes all the damn poetry? That's another thing these black liberated C-stars and these divine feminine chicks they good for us. We're always writing poetry, always got some spoken word to say, always got some nonsense to express themselves, to make themselves deeper than what they really are. They shallow as hell. But that was the Maya Angelou, right? Those, what's the other chick, Alice Walker. It's a whole bunch of them. Nikki Giovanni, all these. See, that's the real origin of that. A lot of that divine feminine energy, cis-star nonsense. That's the origin of a lot of. Any more of them? That emotional, traumatic poetry, right? They got a lot of them chicks. Like I said, but if you do any background check on your Alice Walkers, your Angela Davis from the Black Panthers, who else? Maya Angelou. They was always married to white men, or they was lesbians. Either they married to white men or they licking lesbians. That's always the background with them. You see, they never really want you to know much about their lives, right? But that's those liberated black females who want to tell you the black woman is God, that we should worship the image of a black female because she got a vagina and all this other nonsense, and she's supposed to be put on a pedestal even though she ain't had to earn nothing to be put up on a pedestal. All she got to do is have children and give birth. That's all she got to do. She ain't got to do nothing else. All she got to do is have a vagina and push children forward. See, a man got to break his ass. He got to really go out and work hard, do everything to be considered or get any kind of respect in the world. But, they want you, the female, all she got to do is push the kids forward, and that's it. And she already get God status. She get God status for just pushing children forward. Forget how she raised them. Forget how she conduct herself. She get God status just because of that. And so you can't say anything, you can't do any wrong with them or nothing, right? And then in a lot of these relationships, even in they lesbian relationships be jacked up. Even they damn lesbian relationships be jacked up, right? They don't even stay together with women because they just damage females altogether. They damaged. They mentally, emotionally damaged. They a bunch of head cases, right? They always got their little goddamn shrine, their little altar in their house, and they always got some damn ankh up there, some spiritual nonsense, some yin and yang books and whatnot. Like I said, I dealt with these chicks before. I know how they are. And like I said, I didn't take them seriously in the early 90s, you know, because that's when that little movement was starting up. That's around the time of Erykah Badu, and that's when that movement started up. Like I said, I used to deal with them type, right? And, you know, I already knew them for what they was, you know, and what they was really about, that they was full of crap, right? They just a bunch of broken little girls. Bunch of broken little girls inside, right? Damaged. They don't want to keep it real. That's why a lot of them, when Sister Shahrazad Ali came out, when she, you know, she was in the Nation of Islam, and, you know, she wrote The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. See, when she put that book out, that ruffled the feathers of a lot of liberated black females. A lot of so-called goddess sea stars got their feathers ruffled when that book came out. Go read that book. Those of you, that's a classic. That's one of the only few books that I read. I mean, she was on point with that. Those of you who have not read that book, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman by Shahrazad Ali, read that book. That's one of the only few books that I recommend as a good read, because it's still prevalent today. That book is still prevalent today. I had a copy of it. Right, I might buy it again on Amazon or something like that. I might buy it again, you know, just to have it and whatnot, because it's very prevalent today still. Why? Because again, a divide has been made between the man and the woman. The divide has been made between the man and the woman. And again, the so-called white man's hand is always in that in some way, shape, or form, because now when the woman decides to get out of pocket and she don't want to be a wife anymore, because that's really what the divine feminine woman is. She's a wife, she's a mother, right? She keeps the order in the household, she keeps the order in the family. That's really what a divine woman is. She ain't all about getting in no trouble. She ain't got no big mouth. You understand? She ain't up on Facebook starting crap, right? She's somewhere taking care of her children, her first and only concern. That's what a divine woman is. A divine woman and a divine feminine energy, or the great mother, is. Not some nigger female sitting up on Facebook talking crap, or sitting on Instagram talking crap, or sitting up here reading poetry in some damn bum spot with a bunch of incense burning, niggas snapping their fingers and whatnot, a bunch of beta males trying to get in their pants. That's not no divine sister. That's not no divine woman. The divine woman got her ass at home with her children, raising her children, working in the family business. You see, not walking around with her ass out, not on Facebook with 50,000 hairstyles and whatnot, trying to get attention, right? You see, because again, a lot of these so-called divine feminine energy, sister, liberated females, they ain't nothing but a bunch of goddamn attention whores. They're nothing but attention whores, and they want to be heard because they know they figure the louder they mouth is, the bigger their mouth is, the more important their words are going to sound. But to the real person who's listening, the more and more loud and the more you allow them to talk, the more and more shallow their words sound, the more and more empty their words are. The more and more empty and shallow their words are. All you got to do is pay attention to it. Pay attention. Just listen to them long enough. You'll hear the shallowness and the emptiness in their words, the ignorance in their words. And this is what's leading a lot of this younger generation today, because you got young women out here who are looking for guidance. They're looking for guidance. They might not want to go the route of Nicki Minaj or Beyonce or whoever. They might not want to go the route of these, you know, the typical bubble-headed black females. You understand? They might not want to follow the minds of these typical bubble-headed black females, so they might be looking for some sort of knowledge or consciousness or something to better themselves. So they might start looking into an ancient thing like ancient Egypt and looking at the women back then and trying to, you know, pattern themselves after that. But then, lo and behold, they always come across some black liberated sea stars, right, who trying to tell them, yeah, sis, and you this, that, and the third, and such, and you a god, sister. You don't need no man. They always waiting to get in somebody's ear. These liberated black females are always waiting to get in somebody's ear, getting in a sister's ear or a woman's ear who is seeking And, she's naive because she's thinking, oh, this got to be a sister like me because she got a vagina like me, and she a woman like me, or, whatever, because she must be the same as me because she got a vagina. No, she's not the same as you, because the difference is the women who are truly looking to extend themselves in pure womanhood, they are sincere. These black liberated females are not. They're not sincere. They're full of crap. They just looking for somebody to put their demons on. They looking for somebody to push their demons into. They looking for somebody to spread their demonic energy onto. And nobody better than a sister, a real sister who's looking for some kind of guidance from maybe an older sister or somebody her age, somebody who she figures is her contemporary, somebody who is her what's the word I want to say? Somebody who's her peer. She's looking for, some kind of connection with a fellow, what she think is a sister, but she's not a sister. She's not. She's not here to elevate you or help you. She's here to bring you down with her. Because again, misery loves company. Misery loves company. She's looking for somebody to gossip about. She's looking for somebody to talk crap about. She's looking for somebody to cry on their shoulder about her miserable ass life. And which she claimed all these men are dogs, and they dogged her out, and this, that, and the third, and whatnot, when she was the only one really being a damn dog. Because you can't, as a woman, can't no man dog you out unless you being a dog at first, your damn self. You got to be a dog in order for a man to dog you out. I'm gonna just say it like that. So miss me with all that. Oh, the men dogged you out. Men ain't this. No. You was being a dog. You was being a whore. You was being a slut. And you thought that by being that way, you thought that would somehow keep a man in your life, or not respecting yourself. You understand? Being emotional, being a head case, being a damn thought, having no real morals about yourself, no real class about yourself. You thought that would keep a man in your life, but it actually repelled the man. It actually repelled him. It didn't attract him, it repelled him. A real man. Let me take a call. 337. 337. All right. Guy playing music. The hell you gonna call for and then play music? All right? But that's all that's about. A lot of these so-called liberated divine feminine energy females, they're nothing but empty vessels for demonic possession, man. That's all they really are. They nothing but a bunch of empty vessels for demonic possession. I know their energy. Like I said, I know that energy. I've been around that energy. So I'm only going to speak about what I know. And it's not no hit piece on them. It's not because I hate them or I despise them. No, I'm telling you what it's really about, what they really are. So that you women out there who are seeking to form some real sisterhood or some kind of womanly bond with another sister, don't bond with them. Don't bond with the damn hair-hatted hooligans, the damn blank brigade, as I call them, the hair-hatted hooligans wearing blonde on their head. They just as bugged out as these black females walking around with them blonde wigs on their head and blue contact lenses and all this stuff. They just as bugged out as they are. They ain't no different. They might have some natural hairstyle in their head or have their hair wrapped up, but they just as bugged out as these black females walking around with blonde wigs on their head and contacts and all this other nonsense. They just as bugged out as they are. They just as lost as they are. You see? Don't think they any different. With their little unks and all this other nonsense and this divine feminine principle and whatnot. They can never tell you what the divine feminine principle is. Ask them one day. If they keep talking about what this divine feminine principle is and this great mother is, ask them what it really is. What is that? Who wrote this? Where did it come from? Ask them to break it down for you. They ain't going to be able to break a damn thing down to you because, again, it's nothing but some alter ego from these females of what they wish they could be. They wish they could be divine. They wish they could be strong. All the things they are not, they put into this so-called image of a so-called black goddess female archetype. That's all they doing. They trying to, that's the same way the white man talks about God. When the white man is talking about God or Jesus or whatnot, what he's really talking about is his image of what he wished he could be. That's all God is. It's an image of what Jesus and all that. That's an image of what the white man wished he could be. That's all. They create their gods to be greater than them. These gods or goddesses, what they talking about, that's an image of what they want to be. But the reality of who they actually are is nothing close to that. The reality of who they are is nothing close to that. They create these God images and whatnot as what they want to be. The divine mother, the divine feminine, the black woman is God and all this other stuff. And, and again, if you got a bunch of simp beta male niggas behind you that's following you up with this garbage, hey, even better. A bunch of vagina-whipped, a bunch of vaginally whipped niggas. You understand? A bunch of vaginally whipped niggas who ain't used to getting no vagina, who ain't used to being up under no woman, who ain't used to having women and whatnot, who just happy with any little piece of vagina he get. They open off of everything. Of course, he gonna put the woman on a pedestal and worship her. And by him doing that, more and more he does that, the more and more she loses respect for him. The more and more she loses respect for him. The more and more he put her on a damn pedestal, the more and more she degrade him. Because she damn sure ain't gonna never put him on a pedestal, but he too stupid to see that. And that's a lot of you beta males, especially you niggas in that group, man. Especially you niggas in that mentalist group. I had to just bring that up for a second, because that ain't nothing but a bunch of fake feminine energy and a bunch of beta male niggas, man. Trying to get at these chicks in that damn bunch of thirsty niggas trying to get at them chicks in the group. That's all. You niggas trying to rap to them chicks in the group. Bunch of thirsty niggas, man. Sitting around talking about me, trying to get in some bunch of these beta females' pants. When you niggas too dumb to realize that the only reason a lot of them is dead because they wish they could have got with me, or I got with them already. They my leftovers. And I'm not bragging, I'm speaking pure fact. They my leftovers. Because that's all you could do is leave a black female, leave her over. That's all you can do. Just use her up like a damn dish rag and then just toss it to the side. Because again, she ain't no real woman. And I don't care how that sounds. Raw and uncut. Raw and uncut. They ain't good for a goddamn thing, but basically, y'all know, the men know. Y'all know what they good for. And that's it. That's all they good for. I don't care who don't like it. Real is real. All they good for is for a man to do is wipe his penis off on. That's all. That's all. I'm gonna put it that way. That's all they good for. They concubines and thoughts. That's all. They exercise the real women we want. That's it, man. That's it. You want to hear me say I said it? No, I don't treat all women the same, because all women are not women. You got females and you got women. You treat a female just like what she is. No, never treat no female like a woman, because then, see, it messes with her head. She don't understand that. You don't never treat a female like a woman. You treat her just like what she is, a female. And you treat a woman like a woman. You see, and never should the two meet. Never should they be in the same room or thought of the same way. You see, that's all that is. Raw and uncut. Because I'm always going to give it to y'all real, raw and uncut. I don't care. You know me. Because the real men done already experienced that. We done had real women before in our lives, and we had a bunch of females in our life, and we know the difference. We always know when it comes to dealing with these head cases, these liberated black female, sister, feminine energy, goddess wannabe goddesses. We already know, listen, man, this ain't nothing but a pit stop when we dealing with them, and this ain't nothing but a pit stop. This ain't nothing but for us to just, get our jollies off and go out about our goddamn business. Because it's always going to eventually be a damn meltdown with these whores. You understand? It's always going to be a damn meltdown. They always going to be a headache over time. So, like I said, you leave them where you left them. You leave them where you picked them. You leave them where you picked them up at. You leave them off where you picked them up at. You don't never keep them around. Because if you keep them around long enough, like I said, like garbage, they begin to stink. If you keep them around like garbage in your house, they begin to stink. They begin to stink up your place, or aka stink up your life. You see? And we don't want that. We want our lives as real men to smell good, to smell beautiful, and that happens with the presence of a real woman. We'll be right back. We want real women. There's really no help in these so-called liberated, divine energy, wannabe females. In fact, I'm thinking about doing a broadcast on this tomorrow, I'm thinking about it, the connection between the bright man and the black woman, the black female, the bright man and the black female. I might do a broadcast on that tomorrow, but that might be just a little bit too raw and too real, and it's going to stir up a lot. You understand? I might at least leave that alone. If anything, I'll do it another time. But it'll stir up a lot. But it's necessary because these type of females are worse or just as bad as a Nicki Minaj, as Cardi B, or who else they got out there? Megan the Stallion, whatever the hell, because they always putting these whore archetypes out there. The so-called white man, he's always going to put out two images of the so-called black woman. Either she's going to be a mammy or a whore. Either she's going to be a fat mammy like this new chick Lizzo. What's that other fat chick you ain't seen around in a while? The one was Precious, Gabrielle Sabidi, or Oprah Winfrey. They'll even put out a fat mammy image, or they'll put out a slim down whorish image of a black female. You see, those are only two images they're gonna put out. They never gonna have no bronze woman or so-called black woman that's just a real woman. You see. Again, when these females talk about the divine feminine energy and being goddesses, that's what they want to be. That's not what they actually are. That's who they want to be. They aspire to be that. So they figure if they keep telling themselves that lie, that's who and what they are, they think the more and more they tell that lie, the more and more people are going to believe that lie about who they are. They think the more and more they tell that lie, people are going to believe it. But for the real people who see right through them, you already know what they are. And if you don't know, now you know. Like Biggie said, if you don't know, now you know, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Now you know what they really are. You see? And they're just as poison, you know what I'm saying? They're just as poison as the Nicki Minaj's and all the other thoughts out here who are trying to recruit your daughters, your young daughters, your young nieces, you know what I'm saying, whatever. They're trying to recruit. They're always trying to recruit, you see. And it's always the same thing. It's always the same thing. They like a bunch of nigger vampiresses, a bunch of nigger vampires who are always looking to bite a bronze woman. They're looking to bite a bronze woman and turn her into a black female. They're always looking to bite a bronze woman. They like a bunch of damn pies looking to bite a bronze woman with a healthy mind, somebody who's, innocent and naive and just looking to have a sisterhood with somebody, and they looking to bite her with their foolishness, with their poison. They want you poisoned and black just like them, so that they can have somebody to talk on the phone with, talk crap with, talk against men, talk against masculine energy, call a bunch of men homosexuals. They love emasculating the bronze man. They love calling the black men homosexuals when ain't nothing gay about them. You know, man, these females don't call me gay once I didn't want to deal with them no more. I done came all kind of homosexuals and everything else and whatnot when I didn't want to deal with them no more. They're going to call you gay. They're going to attack your manhood. They're going to do that. That's part of because they just can't, they got to justify a reason why you don't want to deal with them. Oh, you just can't deal with a strong black woman. You can't deal with it. You weak. You gay. You can't deal with a strong black woman. No. I don't want to deal with your black ass. How about that? I don't want to deal with your black dysfunctional ass. Now, I don't want to deal with your representative, this fake feminine representative that you put down. No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want to deal with your black ass. No, thank you. I want a bronze woman. I don't want a black female. No, thank you. I know the difference. Been with enough women, and been with enough females to know the difference. No, thank you. So, it's been real. I tell them it's been real. 2 snaps up in the finger. Peace out. And they get mad. But see, the thing really is that this is the type of treatment that they deserve and they expect. They don't really see. Let me tell you something. People might find it cruel in what I'm saying about the so-called divine feminine energy, liberated black female, and how you gonna talk down on the sisters like that, and maybe they might be trying to find a way. No, they're not trying to be better. They are not trying to be better. That's an illusion. They are not trying to be better. They like how they are. Because trust me, I done tried to turn a few of them into something more than what they are, but I was quickly given the reality about that situation. They quickly informed me that, look, I ain't gonna have you trying to raise me up for real or try to change me. Trust me, I done got the reality from them plenty of times. I done got the wake-up call from them plenty of times. There's nothing righteous about them. They like being dogged out. They claim they don't like it, but they do like it. Even if they got a beta male, even if they were a beta male over time, right? And they gonna get bored. They get bored of their beta male. They're gonna basically look for a man who's gonna dog them out. They want to go back into that. They always want to revisit their old fight roots. They always want to revisit their old fight stomping grounds. They want to get used and abused and just basically treated like a thought by some real man. Because they feel like the beta male that's treating them like a goddess and a queen, all the things they claim they want, they really don't want that at all. And the reason why they don't want that at all, because they don't really feel like they're worth it. They real deep down inside, they don't really feel like they're worth being put on a pedestal and treated good. They don't feel like that. Trust me, I know quite a few situations where these beta male dudes, which was good dudes for them, wanted to put them on a throne, take them on vacations and trips and do everything, but they crapped on these guys. They crapped all over these guys because, again, they don't see themselves as worthy of that. They don't really see themselves as no goddess and none of that other stuff. They're just saying that. They just sound good. That's just a cover for that black liberated female energy, that whorish slut mentality, that liberated female mindset they get from the white man. They're going to tell you just like a man, you could do whatever a man want to do. You could do whatever. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to have no respect for masculine energy. You ain't got to do this, because they don't got no respect for masculine energy, because they ain't got no respect for their goddamn self. How the hell you going to have respect for anything if you ain't got no respect for yourself first and foremost? And like I said, a lot of these black, feminine, liberated C-stars, they ain't got no respect for themselves. They have zero respect for themselves. And again, they always looking to recruit. They always looking for someone whose eyes are wide open, who's looking and whatnot, who truly wants to be uplifted, who truly wants to be in alignment to something else. And again, they're given nothing. They're given nothing. They are given nothing. They're given nothing in return. You see? So when you deal with these females, it's like I said, with them you got to return to sender. Always return the vagina to sender. Right? Utilize it for what it's worth and just return it to sender. The mission. And for you brothers who deal with them, abort the mission. Yeah, don't have no mission. Don't have no mission statement or no kind of conquest with them beyond just what they good for. That's it. Because they ain't nothing but concubines, man. And now they ain't even really good concubines no more. They ain't even good concubines. They ain't nothing but a bunch of goddamn concubines. They not no wives. They not no women of any real esteem. They not no women of any real stature. They're nothing. They're nothing. Just like you got these beta males, they nothing. They're a bunch of nothing-ass niggas. And these are a bunch of nothing-ass females. So they both go hand in hand. You see, and they always trying to raise their station in life. They always want to raise their station. They always want to be on another level, but they will never make it to that level because they refuse to confront the one thing that stands in the way of that evolution, and that's themselves. They stand in the way of that evolution. They will always stand in the way of that evolution because they love to anchor themselves to low-level things. They love to anchor themselves to low-level things, gossip, slander, innuendo, backbiting, all kinds of things that keep them being black females. All the type of things that keep them being low-level black females. This is what they want to anchor themselves to. They don't want to ascend beyond that. They don't. So miss me with all this goddess BS. Miss me with all this divine feminine crap. Because I already know where it's coming from. Because, like I said, it was only a few strong women that bought Sister Shahrazad Ali's book, and they was ready to admit that everything she said in that book is true about the so-called black woman. Everything she said in that book about the so-called black woman was true. And like I said, when I get off this broadcast, I'm going to buy the book again. I'm going to go on Amazon and buy that book again. And I suggest every young woman who did not buy that book or never got to read that book, you should buy it. Every bronze woman should buy that book. Because in that book, she gives a detailed account of how the black woman is, the so-called liberated black female. That's who she's really describing in there. And you should know not to be like her. Not to act like her, not to conduct yourself like her. Because she's poison. She is a virus. You see? She is poison and she is a virus. It's called The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman by Shahrazad Ali. All right? If you didn't read that book, like I said, I couldn't put it down when I read it. I read that book over 20 years ago. And it's still the same thing. Like I said, if she said in that book, it's the same thing today. That book was a bestseller. She was in the Nation of Islam under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You see, I met her before too one time. Brother had called in and said something about this. See, again, some things are, like I said, certain things never change, man. Certain things never change. And again, the so-called divine energy, liberated black female who's basically following the white woman, she never changes. Because they got the type of females to draw from. They got females like Angela Davis, Janelle Monáe today, Alice Walker, that demon, who passed away, that demon, what's her name? The one who was married to the white man. She talk all that black stuff, who Oprah Winfrey loved so much, Maya Angelou. They all with that. They definitely with all that race mixing and all that degenerate behavior. Basically, they'll bow down to the beast in the heartbeat. They'll bow down and do everything from in the heartbeat, talk and get up and talk about black power, black femininity, femininity, and the black woman is God's womb, her womb is God's womb, and all that BS, man. Miss me with that. No, thank you. So let me go ahead and read this question before we get out of here. Is the divine feminine energy really a cover for liberated black femalism? Yes, it is. And I don't call it feminism, it's femalism. It's not feminism. Feminism comes from masculine energy. Again, the woman being the reflection of the man. Because every woman wants to be a reflection of her man. She wants the strength of her man. She wants to draw from the strength of her man. But he has to be a real man. Because again, if you have these males out here who are beta males, y'all gonna get turned off by them real fast because you got nothing to draw from. If a real woman wants to always draw from a real man, she knows that he is her rock and he is the strength of her foundation. From the connection with her father to her husband, that's the from man to man. That's how it's supposed to go. And he gains strength from her order. She gains strength from the law he puts down in the order that she keeps in the household and the business and everything else. So they complement each other. See, that's something that goes over the so-called black sister feminine energy BS. You see, that's always going to be missing. Why is it being used? It's being used because these black females want to pass themselves off as something they are not, and that's real women. When did this start to be promoted? Like about in the 60s. In the 60s. With your Angela Davises and your Maya Angelous. And the white man really pushed them up to the forefront to basically promote this liberated, feminist, black female agenda. Basically to upset and destroy the household of the Bronze family. That's all that was about. When did it, who controls the so-called goddess movement? Well, the so-called white man does. Right? And he used a bunch of simp beta males. He put the black female out in front. That's why you see these organizations that started up like Black Lives Matter, what's the other one? Me Too movement. All that was started by these liberated black females that the white man put money behind. And then eventually he replaced the black female with his own woman to run the organization. See, all these organizations were started by black females, black liberated females. The ones who probably fancy themselves to be the wounded wombs and goddesses and all this nonsense. You see? That's what that is. What does this mean to the future of our women? It should mean nothing. What it should be is a warning to stay the hell away from these liberated black females because they are not what you are. You bronze women who are real women, stay the hell away from these liberated black females. I keep drawing the line in the sand, letting you know you're not like them. Just because y'all got vaginas like them, y'all ain't the same as they are. And that's it. I'll see y'all back here tomorrow. We're going to close out in the name of Amen by the power of Amen. And Amen we trust, and Amen we thank, and in Amen we continue forward forever. I am the intellectual NUBEN MENKARAYZZ. This has been Mentellect Radio. I'll be at Restoration Plaza this Sunday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. First floor. Come on out. This Sunday, first floor. All right. Good night.
Rising out the black race to the white race, out the black race to the white race. It's the Republic of Mentellect, black race to the white race. If
it's hell and then it's hell us. They tried everything just to spell us. Fed us religion, gave us fake gods. Through all of that, we beat the odds. Now we coming together under one flag. Colors red, gold and blue. Superman, superwoman, that's me and you. The infinite capabilities that we can do. We the Republic.